Nice. Yep, that's right. All right, here we go. Next. Trying to get this thing going. I am here. Hi. We're just trying to get this thing working and make sure that it works. Listening to some music, smoking. Pretty much. If somebody wants to join me, I'll probably. Hey, Sharpie. I don't know why.
No one ever told me how things ever happen. When falling in love, when falling into you, love is so loud, plays a game, move by move, moves collapse. Thinking of you, don't know what to do to make you love me too. No one ever told me it's true for the escape. Now I'm stuck into you, now I'm stuck in your love. Hear me calling, watch me trying, even when I'm crying. For you, fires run, please don't do a hassle. For you and me, the love is what I'm craving. I'm stuck into you. Don't know what to do. Stuck into love. Don't know what to do. Thinking of you. Don't make you love me too.
Nice.
Don't know what to do. I'm stuck.
Try this one. How do we make it? Oh, there we go. Haha. Nice. So that sounds like some good work there, BLB. I did some yard work today. And did some, let's see, I mowed the lawn. I did some weed eating. Yeah, that was pretty nice. This one's called Enter the Forest of Dreams. I knew I was going to do that. I don't think I like it though. I'm going to see if we can make that one work. Crucified equity, that's right. I believe in making my land work for me and make it make money. And you got to put that sweat equity into it for it to make money. So true. This is supposed to be Latin. This is not Latin. I don't know what kind of Latin, maybe. No, not even North Indian. Here we go. Let's try that one. What did you say, Sharky? Let's see. Not sure if others know, but Patty got YouTube hit. So he's out of streaming for a bit, but he's doing. Oh, Patrick. You talking about Patrick? No, I didn't. Tell me if you guys can hear me. Okay, I didn't know about Patrick. Well, that makes sense. Ooh, that's loud. Oh, that's why I forgot to put my headphones. I don't like to do it that way. Let's try this way. Oh, thanks, Billy. Wish. I'm not sure if that's Cayete or Cayita, the name of this song, because the one after it is called Loca. So maybe it's. I wonder. Cayita. What could that mean? Patty's Timeliners, is that like the name of his new channel there? BLB for Patty. That's interesting. Is he like on a timeout again or something? That's sad. Okay. Listen, text. Trying to find some good free music here that is like genuine to, not genuine. Your BLB, you got me on that one. Is okay to use. I guess genuine could work there. Okay to use on YouTube. That is right. You call Patty chatters. Nice. Gremlins. Okay, if you insist, but I do not. Now, I like the car Gremlins. 1960s Gremlins. That was a pretty cool car. It's so hard to find good music on these things. They're so weird. This is okay. This is okay. It's kind of silly. What's a gold bacon, BLB? A gold bacon. Oh, a card. Nice. That would be a fun card. Gotcha on that way. It took me a second, but I'm really high on tops right now, so everything's taking a minute. I got this new pen a couple of weeks ago to try out, and it's called Yoka. So, I don't like it, but let's try March to Victory. See if that's any good. And then I will quit trying to pick according to the name of the song, because that never works with these either. You just have to go through the lists. And I'm trying to decide if this website is worth paying for, but so far it's not, and it's really pissing me off. It's called Snapfish. The song is called March to Victory. This is very army. I don't like it. It's like gonna PTSD somebody. Oh my god. No, don't do it. You know what? I gotta say, BLB, this had me thinking earlier. A green gremlin and gold vega into blue international. 3 things there. A green gremlin, a gold vega, and a blue international. That's like totally paranormal. Like, right? That's funny. If you could time travel in both of those cars, I think you could. It wouldn't be very hard to make it happen. My birds are pretty though. I don't know if you guys can hear that. Oh yeah, I was not going to pick up. Let's try some different filters now. Let's filter by genres and look at just Latin music. Let's see if we can find just Latin music. Sharkatan says, I saw a pic of a gremlin that was electric. But I think it was a prototype back then. Yeah, I saw that picture too. I think I know the one you're talking about. It was rolling around on Facebook for a while, and I think that was the prototype ad picture to try and get funding to make more of them at the time. They did that. They still do that. I think my favorite car that they never made was like that, and that was a, what do you call that? I want to call it an Eclipse. I can't remember because it was like in the 80s and I forgot about it. It's a Spider. I know that much. I think it's an Eclipse Spider. That's what it's called. It was ever just only a prototype. They never actually made it, but it was pretty cool. Let's see what Defender sounds like. Let's start here. All right. I'm going to sit down for some tunes a second. Yeah, we can go for sure. I've swapped some was actually, I should, well, not V8, actually it was a V6. Chevy, Chevy. Kirby Electric Board. That reminds me of Hannibal Lecter. I did not like that movie. Well, I kind of did like Hannibal Lecter. They were great books, but the movie was not so good. Maybe it was good. I already listened that way. Already listened that way. Already listened that way. Here we go. That was like 4 songs in a row that I passed. That's why I said that many times. Red VW Beetle. Let's see that. Thankfully, I haven't had to work on very many Beatles ever. I've had to be in them before, and that was not fun. Like being in Beatles. Wow, really bad line music. Gosh, David. If they gave better choices, then it would be so much easier to pay for it, right? Come on, this is supposed to be the best. Well, among the best, they said. But so far, I'm not really impressed. Like, I guess if like you're just going for background of VW Beatles, no, like, okay, here's the thing, Sharky, down there in the Yucatan, it was up until like 2010 before there was any other car besides a VW Beetle down there. It was insane, and so like I just have horrible memories about Beatles. I don't like them. I don't like Beatles the music. I don't like Beatles the cars. I like Beatles the real live bugs for the most part, as long as they're not dung beetles. And dung beetles, I just try to leave them alone. Get away from them. Yeah, that's right. 19. Here we go, BLB. We jumped a snowbank in it, in your Beetle, in 1976. Here's how snowplow ran us off the road. Oh my gosh. I've jumped a snowplow. You bring that up. Oh my gosh. I'm down at the top of Vail Pass in Colorado. The freaking middle of a blizzard. And like the worst, it was 2016 when they were having really bad blizzards that year. Of course, in the end of December, I went over the bank. My hood flew up, and because I didn't lock it down completely, long story, was in a fight, and then bam, it didn't work anymore. And yeah, I was quite taken for a loop over the snowbank. I made it alive and just barely, like, didn't flip the car or anything. It was rental, 2-wheel drive. Oh my gosh. What kind of road stories? I've got so many road stories. I've lived on the road. Was a major traveler all my life. And yeah, Sharky, the Beatles down there in Mexico were so popular. It's just so cheap, and they could make so many of them, and they shipped hundreds to there. So, Sharky, you say, I never liked the band, the Beatles. Yeah, no, but I really love the Emmy movie called Yesterday. So, probably Dude's version with his voice, and I liked his recreation of their songs. I don't know who you're talking about yesterday. But if you've ever heard of like how people can take records and spin them in reverse and hear some weird stuff in them, I was listening to a show for a while that was doing that with the Beatles songs. And that's one of the easiest ones you can do that with. And their songs were just so super creepy. And like Beatles, I think it's pretty easy to prove that they replaced a couple of members of the band and made people believe that they were still living when they weren't. And I think the US government probably did that a few times before. But that's just my opinion over here. I guess I'm going to keep on going. Forgot what I was talking about again. And that's typical. I will loop around, I'm sure, back to where I was headed. I'm Sharky is here and nobody else at the moment, which is a good thing because I'm just barely getting these channels back up and going again. So thanks for being here, BLB and Sharky, and whoever shows up. Plus, it's the middle of the day. Well, I'm going for nobody's around. So hopefully it works out that way. um, let's see. I am still trying to find music here because I want to try and get some good songs going and see if I can find like a good channel thing to play the songs from. That there's Propagate. Hey Propagate, if you're up, like grab the link if you can find it, or I'll drop it. Come in and say hi. For sure. Here comes some music. As babies, we talk naturally, and then we learn to talk backwards here. You know, I could go on to talk about that for sure. The second word song. It's kind of like upbeat, pretty. I didn't listen to this one yet. I don't like that one either. It's too overwhelming. And I don't like things to be overwhelming. I think overwhelming is a bad idea. I think as soon as a person is overwhelmed, they are unable to advance any further in any kind of anything, really. Spiritually, physically, mentally, overwhelm is not a good thing. I don't like this song either. This is not good. Come on, Propagate, help me here. We need some music. Yeah, that's right. This is probably not it either. This is probably some weird BLM song or something. Sorry. Oh, did I use a trigger word? Probably. And I'm not supposed to because I'm on YouTube. But it's not just YouTube over here. But language is pretty important. Language can determine how much you're able to comprehend and like the overwhelmed thing, go forward or not, or stay stuck in English. English, once you learn another language, you realize how limited English is. Even if you just pick up baby language, it's worth it because baby language actually is really intelligent. I know most people probably are not going to understand that, but it was developed by the baby for a really good reason. That we should learn language that way. This must be like a very dramatic movie theme. I'm sure it's a movie theme. Yeah, I don't like the movie themes much either. I don't know if I don't see you no, that's way too slow. So we could tell a story that goes with the music. I don't know how to do that, but it's certainly not working. Anyways, let's add propagate. Okay. Hey there.
Right.
Hey, you got a bird call. Did you? Hi, Jules. Hey, come in and meet propagate if you want.
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you loud and clear.
Hey, how you
Hi
been?
there.
I see you're
You
live
know,
here.
doing all right. It's a little scratchy on your end. Talk to me for a minute.
Okay. 1 2 1 2 in the place to be. It's your man. Propagate this light. Light. Can you hear me well? 1 2 3. Am I scratchy like itchy? Am I scratchy like itchy?
Yeah.
You know
No,
that
it's
cartoon
pretty
Itchy
good.
and Scratchy?
It's a little glitchy.
Uh,
It's more like glitchy instead of itchy. Happy, happy, joy,
okay.
joy. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, 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 joy, joy. Happy,
All right.
itchy.
So let me come. I'll be right back in 15 minutes, and
Sure
it
thing.
shouldn't be. All right.
Sounds good. See you then.
Okay. Give me 15 minutes. What's up, Shark? All right.
Hey. Okay, cool. All right then. We're gonna go back over here. Not that way. We're gonna go back over to cold morning. Let's try cold morning and see how that sounds. I don't know if you can find the link, Jules. Feel free to jump in. We're just doing an open chill line like kind of thing, kind of like Wednesday nights. I was thinking, well, it's not really Wednesday night. It's more like 4:20 on the West Coast, just about. and 520 over here. It's not working. It's supposed to be this thing over here is not working, and it's trying to convince me to pay for it, and just that not working part is making me not want to pay for it. No, that's good, Jules. Good to hear. I'll just show you now if you're maybe later on or something. We can do it. Yeah, that would be fine. But like I said, it's just chill right now. And whatever we're talking about. There was, I don't want to bring it up. It's too sensitive because this topic that's on the circles, of course, is the whole row thing and everything, and it's super sensitive right now. And cool, Joseph, that'd be awesome. I would not want to upset somebody's apple cart over my personal views or the whole topic, because my views are like not the mainstream, and they're my views. Like I don't feel the need to have to always share and make everybody believe what I believe. That's no fun. Like that's not the purpose in life. For me, the purpose in life, or at least one of them, is living a life that is purpose driven. Having purpose is really important. But more important than that, no, you aren't. Go ahead and try. Like I'm gonna get myself here, God. I totally forgot. It'll come back. I'm sure it'll come back. The music. I forget. And it's so random, like it just comes on when it feels like it. Oh yeah. It isn't. And I think my views, get people but it's important, I think. It's important to know what you believe and at least keep that. You don't have to shove it on everybody's head just because you know it. Because you know the truth or something. That doesn't make you above anybody else. It doesn't give you the right to reign over them and tell them they don't know anything because you know something more than they do. Especially with such a topic about life and death. Yeah, Jules, I totally hear you on that one. Hi, Katina. Hey, good to see you over here. It's pretty nice to have some people popping in. Like I said, I'm just trying to get more into doing these channels and get them all linked up. It's alright. I'm turn it down. Let's see what this one sounds like. This one's called Sun Over the Rain. And if you don't know, I'm just like going through trying to find music that works good as an intro or just in betweens testing out some websites, and because there's several now that like make up all these music things, and I love music, but I'm having to, in some ways, get over that I can't like really use music over here on the YouTubes. And so it's like, okay, so you have to go through these things and figure out what's any good, what you like, what you don't like. And I figure I'd have some friends with me to do it. Because I love opinions. I'm a Libra. So I like other people's opinions because it helps me formulate mine. Here we go. Propagate. Alright, let's see.
Hey, what's up? How's it now?
Hey, what's up? What's up? That's a lot better. Except we got a little echo.
Oh, okay. Jeez.
Uh,
Let me see. Give me a second.
mm-hmm. That's right.
Okay,
I
let me
know,
try
right?
this again. Give me 2 minutes. I'm sorry about that.
Two. I love twos. Let's do two. Twos are good. All right. Oh, this one is even 222. The song is, if it'll play, come on, stupid thing. All right, I'm talking to my phone and telling it to be, well, it's not my phone. It's the website having problems itself. So, like I said, I think it's pretty much failing when it comes to, yeah, probably just talk. You're here. I think you're. Oh wait, no, you're stepping out. All right. There we go. Supposed to be a scary phone ringing. I don't think I want to listen to it. Does have a weird vibe, yeah. All right. Undo another. Wow, it was supposed to mute through that. I guess she got my cough. Sorry about that. This is so slow. Gosh, that's why a lot of people, Katina, like choose to not use music in their posts and their casts and stuff. But music is so valuable. Like, it can totally set the tone. It can, I don't know, I love music. I like discovering music too, so this is kind of fascinating. was so slow. So I'm gonna move on to the next. I like moving through pretty quickly too, unless it catches me. It's like a book, shopping for a book, you know, right? Tones are so important. Um, oh gosh, Katina, like, yeah, I totally agree. The yeah, I don't know. I'm not gonna go there right now. But this one is called Wake Up, and it's done by a group named Holy Grail. It's a little creepy. I hope it's meant to be creepy. It's got some weird tones and overlays. Ooh, that was kind of fun. I liked that part. That was fun. The ending was neat. That was kind of fun. And then there were more UFO news today. Mr. Dolan, if you don't know him, he's like a old UFO guy. He came back out on the scene with some new evidence again. And I wonder if he's being fed some kind of
Spend time up in the sky planes with the bomb
information
from taking my ride, I'm so high, nothing can stop me now. I'm so free, can't tell me I ain't earned it, but way up down from the floor. Now I got a taste, moving on post haste, always craving for a little bit more.
It just seems like music or music.
For a little bit more.
Words in these. Probably not. We want to kind of avoid the words, I think. I kind of feel that way. Because, I don't know, the reverse speech thing, like we were talking about before with Sharky. I feel like in the electronic age, the reverse speaking stuff has gotten worse in a sense, or maybe not worse, but a lot more harder to detect and different frequencies put into it to kind of stir things up a little bit. We got no subject, we're just chilling. Continue. Music being the subject. We were talking about cars, we talk about UFOs, or talk about paranormal stuff. Really, the subject is just going through the music news. Not much going on. You sweet little baby. I'll be doing other shows this Wednesday night, so I'm just gonna chill. So we'll have some more defined subjects in them right now, which is I'll never let you go. Funny things, so funny it seems. Keep on laughing, did you? Funny, so funny, don't you make me? Yeah. So I don't know, my kind of thing is a little bit more talking about recent news stuff that has come up over the past week or so. But I do that show, or I will be doing that on more like Friday nights and stuff. But hey there, Propagate.
Hey, how you doing?
Try again 3 times. I'm doing all right.
Right, right. So I heard you mentioning UFOs. What's the news on that?
Just on that Dolan has some more new information. He's got a private channel that unless you pay for it or somebody sends you a link, you don't have um you can't listen to it. But like the fallout of what he posted, I guess last night or night before last night. I think it was night before last night, but it really kind of like circulated yesterday. Um,
You said Richard Dolan?
yeah, Dolan.
Okay.
Coming
Was
back to the limelight again, which is fascinating to me because he's like not, um, or he's kind of been quiet for a few months.
okay.
Did you have a question?
Um, yeah, off the subject. The music you're playing, is that your music?
Oh no, that's off of I'm investigating different websites that provide like royalty free music. I almost said that in Spanish. That's why I like paused a minute. I was like, wait, how do you say that in English again? Royalty free music um, website. So this one is called Snapmeres. And I'm investigating them to find out if they work it very good because I know some of them don't work very good. Like you try to get them to play and it takes forever to load or like glitches out and stuff. So I was trying to find one before I like pay for something because most of them want a subscription to pay for thing and like go through and find out if I like the music or not.
Oh
So
no,
yes.
don't worry about that because I have a handful of sites for you that you could probably sift through, see what you can find.
Nice. So mission accomplished. That
Right.
was my mission. Find something
And
that works.
there's a there's one site that I know of where they produce songs. It seems like almost every day, and the only see some of these sites they won't credit for it. So if you have a project, they just want you put their name on the credits or something like that.
Right.
But then there are ones too that I have that you don't have to do all of that. And
You can just like play them and stuff.
right now, you remember the stream that I did where you said the music was loud at the credits?
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
I got I pulled that from one of those sites, and sometimes I could overlook that. Okay, maybe this song is not um quality. It's not full quality like I thought it was. So
Uh-huh.
that's how I made that mistake. So just look out for that too. Like really listen to it, and
I
you
noticed
know.
that when I was like looking at it before, like a year or so ago. Kind of, I wasn't really looking super far into it. I was just trying to find something on the fly. And
Right.
speaking of, like, have you had any encounters with mattresses lately?
Man,
Yeah,
it.
I got you on the phone a minute.
Oh man, it's crazy. Nobody ever asked me that in between my streams, because I've almost every day, just almost every day I see mattresses. So you got me right in the
Every
middle
day.
of it.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. On my travels, yeah. I mean, it's to the point where like the other day, like I'm going down the block and then okay, so I seen some mattresses earlier in the day, right, like on the corner or whatever. And then I look at a truck and somebody's unloading something out of the truck. Oh, okay, yeah, it has to be a mattress, right? They're unloading the mattress.
Yeah.
you know? And then later that day, like I'm going down another street. This is a whole different part of town. And some people are moving out of their house and they're bringing something out of the house. And what are they bringing out? A mattress. So that's how it is. What do you think about that? Like, why am I don't know. I just don't know. What do you
I
think?
don't know. I haven't figured out. I find it fascinating. Like, I wonder if it's just like, if it's the red car theory, you buy a red car and suddenly you see all these red cars everywhere. And so it's just like something that's on your mind. And so you just are manifesting them in a sense. because you're noticing them, and so maybe it's like I don't know. I don't know. It could be a signal of like events that you're noticing, maybe too. That's like a
Yeah,
little
'cause
out there.
the one thing I don't think about it, it just happens when I'm not thinking about it. And then of course after I see it, then I think about it, you know. But I'm not expecting it to happen again. I
Well, yeah,
don't know. But you said it had mattresses are connected to the other side or something like that?
yeah. There's definitely some dream interpretation in that you could look into. Um, and oh, I recall what you're linking to. I have found that ghosts can, or I'm talking about people who have passed away, who are traumatized in some way, and so their passing has left their spirit trapped, so to say. Instead of moving on, like most do, going to the next realm or wherever place they're going to go, what they're doing, they get stuck. So a lot of times, like murders and stuff, can happen in a bed on a mattress, and or revolve around beds and mattresses. Like it's really once you start to notice it, um, it kind of is everywhere. Like there's always a mattress in these scenes. Not always, but a good percentage of the time. And mattresses are usually linked to poltergeist. Can be, they usually like linked to possessions. Like a person could be laying on the mattress and go through possession. I remember like Emily Rose and all these others. They're like they exorcists. So like some of the old Catholic practices would be like really gruesome of how they would supposedly exorcise a demon out of a person's body because they didn't understand or know what was going on in some cases. In others, it's very different. But yeah, mattresses do
So
seem to be very related to that.
so what's a good, some good stuff that the mattresses are connected to besides, the obvious,
What are some of the positive things? Well, babies are made on mattresses. That's a positive
right.
thing.
Yeah, that's one of the obvious that's one of the obvious I was
Was that
thinking.
the obvious one?
Yeah,
Well, I had to call out the obvious. I am a Libra.
right.
Um,
S- So it can't be all
some of
bad.
the other positive, no. Well, kids, like look at kids. What is kids' most favorite trampoline? A mattress. So there's that going on there. There's a lot of positivity there. Um, Gosh, we live most of our life sleeping on a mattress, so most of our dreaming experiences and stuff, a third of our life is on a mattress. They're
Okay,
pretty impactful, and everybody's got one, so there's a lot of them going around.
right. Yeah, yeah. It's like a TV set. Like I could look at a house, right? And let's say it's a 5 bedroom house. I'm just going to assume there's a TV set in every room. So it's kind of like a match for sure it's going to
Yeah,
be in.
yeah, Sharky Tom is talking about sleeping on the floor. And for some people, that can be like back issues, where you're having back issues, and so sleeping on the floor is the most comfortable place you can find. Other people is like grounding. Um, do you know what grounding is? Where your body
Mhm.
has to like electrically ground itself.
Right, right.
Right?
Hmm. Okay,
So,
yeah, yeah, okay. The mattress helps with that, huh?
well, removing the mattress and sleeping on the floor can help with that. or grounding your mattress.
Okay.
Um, so either purchasing a mattress that's made of organic materials and having it on a wooden thing. Yes, and anywhere, Katina. Not just mattresses, but yeah.
Are you able to post my channel link in here and it'll be clickable? Or
Yeah,
no?
sure thing.
Oh yeah, okay.
I think I
Because
can do
somebody,
that.
yeah, somebody was trying to get to my channel. Katina, you doing? Shark the Khan, nah, what's up? I see you
Yeah.
earlier. Say appreciate it.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks for the reminder there, Propagate, because we're doing a thing on there coming up on the 26th, right?
Yep,
July
you're gonna be on,
26th.
right? You're gonna be on with us. Yeah.
Yeah. And will my life be there? Yeah.
It'll just be you by yourself.
Oh, okay. Great. We can listen to music the whole time. And watch me nod.
Yeah.
Here we go.
My
Got your link.
my I appreciate it. So it should be a my life scoop, and us
No, that's great. I love getting to hang out over there. Um,
appreciate it.
yeah, sure. And then I am kind of in a sense announcing I have another channel that I'm setting up that has to do with um, kind of what I'm doing tonight, which is more um, structured every week, kind of shows every day, kind of shows doing podcasts and different themed stuff. So yeah, should be kind of fun. I got
Okay,
that
okay.
other thing going on over there.
So what's gonna be any?
But,
Do you have any ideas for topics?
on the show, well, most of my topics will have to do with my main, well, the book and stuff that I'm working on in travel blog, which is um, hunting down or looking for some stuff that came out of the 1920s newspaper articles I've been looking into for about 10 years. Um, and seeing if we can find a specific manuscript, that's why I call it hidden manuscript, that, as far as we know, possibly exists in Rio, but one linking to that manuscript, Rio de Janeiro, is found in also probably, we don't know yet because I haven't gotten there, um, in Guatemala. So I'm going to be taking Everett with me as I go in the sense of doing travel vlogging and filming and stuff as I look for what am I looking for? I'm digging up the airship mystery, digging up the railroad tiller current lines, a lot of archaeological based stuff regarding Sasquatch and Dogman tribes and different paranormal links to cryptids and cryptozoology is called, finding proofs and stuff, and just kind of adventure, um,
Yes.
basically. This is a short roundup on it.
You know what's weird? So this is kind of off subject, and that's pretty cool that you have this whole you have agenda and a plan of what you're gonna do. I think it's gonna turn out right. But off subject, real quick. Um,
Sure thing.
I was just thinking like not too long ago, like just like 20 minutes ago, about what was at the end of this movie I just seen last night. Now, I don't usually watch movies or TV, but very rarely I will pop a show because it was nothing on YouTube. You know what I mean? So I just said whatever. I'll watch a movie that I wanted to watch. So I watched that Spider-Man verse. What is it called? Spider-Man Into the Universe or something like that. The multiverse Spider-Man.
When did it come
But
out?
just recently, yeah, it has
Oh,
like three different Spider-Mans in there.
okay.
Um, and so at the end of the movie, they put this De La Soul song on there. Are you familiar with are you familiar with De La Soul?
No.
Okay, it's a rap group called De La Soul. So they put a song on there, and the song is called Three is the Magic Number. And I was just thinking about that. Now I'm looking into the chat, and Sharta Khan Na put De La Soul. And I'm just like, how is this even possible?
And earlier he put yesterday. That has something to do with you. And it took 3 times for your thing to work, for your audio to connect.
Right. I think I
Yeah.
just had my Bluetooth on, and that's what was stopping it. But you know, Sharta Khan put De La Soul in the chat just now, and I never mentioned De La Soul, but I was thinking about De La Soul.
Oh, I see. De La Soul.
That is so crazy.
Yeah. It's just me, myself, and I. De La Soul. That's cute. Um, yeah, me, myself.
And that's one of my favorite songs by De La Soul. That song there. Um, and Katina, I see you. Thank you, appreciate you. Yeah, and thank you for posting that, Malia. Are you gonna talk about UFOs on your channel, or is that anything part of what you talk about sometimes, or no, or
Yeah, keeping up with some of the UFO news stuff. Like, so I do that anyways, just because it's part of it. It revolves around the mystery that I'm investigating, the 1920s one. Um, yeah, excuse me. How do I put this? The UFOs fit into what I believe is called the airship mystery. I think that a majority of UFOs are linked to airship travel, investigation, and flight um, in the early days, from the 20s to the 50s, mid 60s. And then after that, I think a good portion of them probably had something to do, most of them had something to do with different government technologies being tested. Now, when it comes to like other topics that you and I have talked about, Propagate, where like I would say UFOs are involved because there is a traveling device being used that looks like a ship and it travels through a stargate and is used to move from one dimension objects, people, physical things from one dimension to another dimension and then attempt to get back again. The getting back again part has been, I think, where most of the mistakes have happened. And but yeah, it's a pretty deep topic. It goes for a long time. Um, but in general, yeah, like UFOs, all this kind of stuff. I don't do a lot of the mainstream green alien Roswell theory. I don't buy most of that. But I like to keep up on what certain people are talking about in the paranormal realm regarding UFOs because we usually find some type of UFO phenomenon, orbs, or some other when we find evidence of real evidence of cryptids or
what's a cryptid? Because I heard you say that before. What is that?
hey Strangefoot, uh, cryptids. Cryptids are anything that would be considered not human, not any animal that we have record of, um, and is creepy. That's not the proper definition, but for the most part, cryptids are creepy, and they have to do with like Glimmer Man, you might have heard of, or Wolverines would be considered cryptids. Vampires are cryptids. Anything that fits in that realm of like magic and lore and are they real kind of thing. Leprechauns, even. Um, berries, anything that we can find that gives evidence of stuff that is either written in oral legends or that people talk about having real experiences with. So, cryptozoologists or people who study cryptology would be looking into finding the proof or the real evidence of these types of creatures existing or having existed in the past or still existing today.
Right. But you said that something about them coming through, so that means that they actually exist if they're they
Well,
you
in
have
my yeah, I have an opinion and a belief of what happens, and that opinion belief is based on my abilities to see into the spirit realm and how things work, or the different dimensions, often labeled as spirit realm. But
so you've seen the cryptids before, huh?
oh hell yeah, I've had experiences with cryptids. It's why I'm interested in it since I was a young child. And so, because of my own experiences and knowing of their existence and how real they are, and how they can affect you physically in through dreams and different things. So, like, I would wake up with having these terrible dreams and having like physical scars or wounds on me um, of where that thing had attacked me. So, and then I spent a lot of time in the forest and in different places alone all the time as a kid growing up and stuff. And
So,
so I encountered quite a few beings in those places too.
mm, do you know like what they were, what they look like? You know what kind, or you know if that makes any
Um,
sense.
well, there's many different kinds as there are in the ocean, different kinds of creatures.
Got you. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what do you think about mermaids? Because someone posted something on Facebook
Oh yeah,
recently, and
siren. It was what?
it was a video of a supposed mermaid. It looked real to me. Would it did So I guess mermaids are a part of the cryptid family, so to speak.
Yeah, yeah, definitely. Um, Mermaids, even a Medusa type thing. Is that a camera? Probably. And yeah, yeah, mermaids definitely. Sirens are something that we've looked into, or other cryptos have looked into. Um, Looking into the stories and like, because different countries, different cultures have different ways of describing the creatures that they found at sea, and a lot of sailors and stories of the past have been about what mermaids can do or what so-called mermaid we have the common name for, or mermen, or um, I think they're pretty much linked to the siren um, from Mesopotamia. But they're definitely a dangerous thing. Definitely not something that is like the Little Mermaid happy story at the bottom of the ocean kind of thing going on. But the Little Mermaid does have some context of true stories because, or I guess true stories or stories based on some types of fact, um, with like the or legend lore of how a mermaid was originally created because it's a created being. So some of the fantastical creatures or creatures that were came to be because man was able to figure out how to blend the DNA and birth something like that. So like a minotaur or the phoenix, um, this kind of stuff, using both magic and different alchemical arts. Some of them is drawing those cryptids out of, like I was saying before, out of different dimensions and transporting them into this realm, which is something ancient alchemists and magicians would very much like to do because it would prove their strength or prove their power in the dark arts or the alchemical arts of the time by what type of cryptid they could bring forth from the underworld or the other sides. So, paintings, people like some of the most famous artists were known to paint for magicians, stuff like this, because paintings have an ability to touch into the other realms. Not a lot of times paintings are haunted or can be haunted. A ghost attached to them.
Great. Right, right. Um, okay. Yeah. That is just that's yeah, because it reminds me of this TV show. I forget what it's called. I was trying to think about what it's called, but these people could turn into like these different creatures and stuff. I don't know. It's like a TV show they used to, uh, but this reminds me of that. They could turn into different creatures. It wasn't X-Files or nothing. It's like a TV show that
Oh, you're
um,
talking like Skinwalkers? The
I
Legend
don't
of
think
Skinwalkers?
I
The
don't think it's called
continued.
that. I don't think it's called that. But I mean I'm not sure what that is, but it could be this something similar, you know.
Yeah, it sounds like it. Because some native tribes have legends of tribes existing that is commonly called skinwalker tribes or dogman tribes that could change their forms. Their spirit could change their form and appear in a man's dream or in front of a man. And by fear itself, using the animal creature, using somehow um, this fear thing, can stop a man's heart with this ability that these creatures have. So, oftentimes, when we see or we hear reports of witnesses having encountered any of these type of cryptids, like wolverines or dogmen or shadow people that change um, form, it comes along with this fear feel, like this huge, heavy, very dark, oppressive, even a smell, a stench. It stinks. And you feel like it's like this darkness that you can taste in your mouth, even. It's just foul. And it makes you afraid. Like you have to physically fight the spiritual sense of fear to overcome it because otherwise you become overwhelmed. Like I was talking with Sharky earlier, the overwhelming factor happens. And as soon as you become overwhelmed, then you can no longer advance um, anymore, period. As soon as you are overwhelmed with anything, any kind of emotion, whether it's love, fear, hate, anything. All of these seven types, I believe there's seven types of emotions. Um, and then you can marry and mix all of those seven types, of course. But of the base virtues, that some people call them, um, fear is in there because it has an opposite. So you have to stand against it and be with the resolve in your spirit, in your aura, and be able to defend against that to have any hope. Otherwise, either you're dead or you've done shot yourself and everything else and have turned and ran. And if you turn and ran, it's just like running from a bear. It will come after you. It's it's its nature to come and chase after something that has turned and ran from it. So slowly back away and try and get away from it if you ever do encounter one of these things. Definitely not a
Oh,
nice experience.
it sounds similar to what I've experienced once. It sounds similar to it. I don't know if it's the same, but it felt like something was on my back, and then it had like you said, it had a smell to it. Um, and what else? The heaviness. Um, what else was it? It was something else. I forget. But yeah, and that it wasn't anything good. Uh, do you know anything about? Do you know anything about anything like that that gets onto your back?
Can you repeat that for me? Because it got a little glitchy. Not your fault though.
Yeah, I mean, I was involved in a bad situation once, and it just happened twice in my life where it felt like an entity, you know, may have gotten onto my back, and I could like smell a scent,
Mm,
and I could feel the heaviness, and it
mm,
just feels dirty, And I'm just saying, like, do you know? I know that wasn't a bad thing, and like you said, you have to work on your spirituality just to get it away. Um, do you know anything about anything like that?
um. Well, yeah, definitely. That I would say that's would be one of the type of cryptids that I'm talking about or entities. Some of them have a physical form, like a full you could touch them and this kind of thing. Some of them are more ethereal, like Glimmerman or um, the Shadow Man or these kinds of different things people call them. Of course, people tag things different stuff, and because like the difference between a a dogman cryptid and a werewolf, there's like some people could have seen a dogman and have only a basis for understanding a werewolf. And so that's what they say they saw was a werewolf, even though in actuality they probably saw the dogman, which is huge difference. So
Hmm.
what
So,
in your case, what you're describing, your thing attached onto your back, there is a specific demon. I would call it a demon because it's linked to jinn um, that has servants. So this type of entity, its servants tend to attack by jumping or clawing onto your back. They can come from places like convenience stores. They hang around convenience stores looking for prey, looking for people they could opportunistically jump onto your back and hitch a ride, essentially. So could have
hmm
been something like that, where you accidentally picked up an entity in a bad location. Um, but or it could have been something intentionally chasing you that came from something prior in like a dream or something, where you entered into another realm through a dream and picked up something and it came after you.
oh wow, hmm, wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, that shit can happen. Had that happened before. Oh my
So
gosh.
it comes with like a scent and a heaviness, like the same feeling every time.
Yeah, it's the same feeling, it's the same scent, it's the same. These entities coming from this specific location, I'm saying, that come from one of the two dimensions, which are considered the dark realms. They operate in darkness, in shadow, in this kind of stuff, and usually have either come in through arcane arts, um, letting them in, or it's come in through your genetic bloodline, through a what would be called like a familiar spirit, but it's a lot more than that.
So let's say if someone does something that they're not supposed to do, you know, and so they can could they come in that way?
Yeah. Well, not necessarily, because a lot of this does something they're not supposed to do. That's You can't do that in those realms. You In those realms, you have to know intentionally what you're doing. You can't accidentally open a doorway and accidentally let something out. And oops, accidentally I did that. No, it doesn't work that way. You have to have intention to even move in those realms. And with that intention, to bring forth different things, or can encounter different things and find different stuff. Depending on what dimension you're in. Again, there's 13 different dimensions. So, and all of them behave differently. But one of the common factors is, even in our own dimension, before you can move forward, you must first have the intention. And so that's judged really strongly in those other dimensions. What I mean by that is that if you do not have the intention and will within your heart to bring forth this thing, it cannot accidentally happen. You do not have the desire to do that. You can't be coerced into doing something like you can here. Now, what can happen here is you can encounter someone who is semi adept or adept at the arcane arts and are able to um, coerce you into doing something you don't necessarily want to do, which involves you in some type of ritual, bloodletting, something like that, where you accidentally get tied up into what they did intentionally. You follow me?
Yeah, I do. I do.
However, you still are set under the microscope or glass of whether or not you had will, intention, knowledge, opportunity to exit yourself from the situation. If you never had an opportunity, even though you knew it was wrong, there was a part of your heart that was like, I want to do this anyway, that's counted as desire, intention. Because there was that part in your heart that said, I want to do this. If there is absolutely no will, no intention, no desire for you to participate, and you were forced into participating by, like, they gave you a roofie or something and required you to participate without your want there, then you're not held accountable for those kinds of things, and no kind of entity can attach itself to you once you leave that location and premises, unless you desire it to. Again, there's always that unless you desire that entity, because it will still, as you leave, try to convince you to keep it. That is a good thing to keep it with you so that it can make the will intention rule. And it's a universal rule, it's a universal law. No matter what, it has to apply. It does apply, and we find it everywhere, evidence of that. So don't let
Okay.
them trick you into thinking you can accidentally get in trouble. No, you can't accidentally get in trouble there. Not like here where you can accidentally fall off a cliff. Here you could not survive that and not had any will or intention to fall off that cliff.
Right. Give me a second. Yeah, so I was in a situation where it was just bad energy, I guess you can say. And then that's when it happened. I didn't know what was going on, when it happened. But it was like bad vibes. Um, so
So
yeah.
Katina asked, what's the difference between a movie and media news? I asked seriously. Um, I'm I have a couple comments on that, but I'm curious what you think, Propagate. Do you have an answer on that one, or
What's
what you think? Sorry, I put it back up there. What's the difference between a movie and media news?
that's a good question. It sounds like, these days is probably no difference because I heard that they passed some kind of law to where they could um you got something going on there?
I'm just listening. You go ahead.
Oh, okay. Um, what was I saying?
That they passed some kind of law that you
Yeah,
could.
that that the people in the media they could showcase something that's real when it's not. I don't know if you heard of that,
Oh yeah,
but
like
like, mm,
propaganda.
right. So that's a good question because some people say certain things that's on the news is fake, you know.
Well,
But there is a lot of difference, right? Well, I guess people are still getting paid to speak their script or whatever. Go ahead.
you're fine. Well, I think in it, like in both cases, movie or media, MSM, it kind of depends on what um, niche you're looking into because media news can have, your mainstream networks, and then you have your alternative networks, which are looking for news that is so-called real or not fake news, or trying its best to avoid the pitfalls of the fake news realm. The um, the movies, same thing. Excuse me. If you do the work, you can find um, movies that are being made that are brilliant, that are creative, and there's design in it and there's work in there, especially now where like anybody and everybody, you just have to get certain little bits of equipment, and not even that, people who don't have full equipment are still doing it, where you just have to have the creative idea essentially, and um, you can make the movies yourself now. So that has opened, I think, a whole nother realm on the possibilities of finding real so-called movies, or movies that enrich your brain um, in some way. I I have a hard time watching. Like, you have to put a lot of convincing on me and a lot of reasons of why I need to watch one specific movie to really convince me. Like, anybody in general, not you, Propagate, but anybody in general, would have to put a lot of convincing on me to get me to watch a movie now, because I just, like, I don't do it for leisure, for fun, and this kind of thing. But I do appreciate some of the older movies. I love 1920s, 1930s movies. Of course, I feel like I missed out in a past life on the 1930s. So it's like an era that I think is beautiful in its transition into before, like, the major depression hit and all of this happened in the US. It was kind of a really neat, innovative era of time. But I see Propagate dropped out, and we are intelligent technology. I see cell towers. I'm not sure. It's like the cell tower thing is something I have paid attention to since its development. It definitely goes along the lines of telluric currents, and the same as the power lines, the power grid, and the along with the cell towers, like how telegraphic or wireless communications are used. We have all these fancy words, but in other words, we're teaching ourselves essentially how to use telepathy again and how to be okay with that, and use it without even realizing that we're using that. So, hey there, Propagate. But I'm actually Propagate. I'm going to call it an evening tonight. We've gone on about an hour and a half, and that's about how long I was hoping to spend. Have a wonderful night with everyone. Thank you for making something out of something with me, and I love your comments and hope you have a good evening. Talk to you soon. All right, and thank you, Propagate, for joining.